This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one, in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate.
Thank you for tapping in. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. Sorry for tapping in so late, but as I promised, I do this as many times as I can a week. No matter what happens, I'm going to do it. And no matter what you think about me, thank you to the people who tap in the notes section and hate on me and say I shouldn't stick up for my people, because you let me know I'm doing the right thing. With that being said, thank you to Dolores and John. Those are my parents. Dolores is my mother. John is my father. Without them, there'd be no me. Without me, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. And if you are watching this live, thank you. And if you're not, if you're watching it later on YouTube or on my website, please go to my website and see www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com, and you'll be able to see this in its entirety. If you come in late, if you haven't, hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in and subscribe. Thank you. This is War Games. Now, a lot of people think, you know, the title will tell you, hey, well, maybe he's thinking about the potential war that the United States is about to enter with Iraq and potentially China and Russia. Or the War Games is the war that's been waged on our community. Let's just be honest. From enslavement to stealing of land to redlining to hate groups created with the focus of our community, people hating us for no reason at all, under no circumstances are they paying attention, you know, doing anything but attempting to destroy us. From Lake Lanier, a town that's flooded, and now it's a resort town, to a town between Dallas, Texas and Forney, where it is a man-made lake, Peoria, Illinois, and so many towns throughout the United States of America. That is war waged against you. You got drugs, guns, and other things that have been put into our community to attempt to destroy us, crack, AIDS, and all kinds of things. That is a war. That is a war, no matter how you look at it. We're citizens of this country and we're citizens of this nation. If you don't like it, you can pack up and leave. It's amazing how people who came their asses over here say that without equivocation. You should leave. Well, I was born here. I was all but created here. And you came over here and you stole, so you don't have the right to tell me to do anything. But that's not war games that I'm talking about. I'm talking about leadership. Leadership is lacking in our community. The United States of America is a picture-perfect microcosm of the Black community at this point. We have a lack. We have a ref of leadership. We have a lack of leadership. We have a void in leadership, and with that void in leadership, it is allowing others to attack us. It is allowing us to fall victim to hate crimes and things of that nature, discriminatory practices, a reduction in their and benefits and things of that nature. Our people have paid for 160 plus years into a system, and now you want to reduce Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and get rid of the Department of Education, and you have people foolish enough that look like us because they're not members of our community. Just because you're my biological brother does not make you my brother. You are a person related to me. And just because you look like me don't mean you're a member of my community. That's just the bottom line. What I want you to understand is this: we have to create an entity in which, or a system in which we will have people at the bottom and that are found, you know, that they are growing into leaders. We have leaders that are established to take care of them, and it will be a pyramid situation that leads up to a potential leader, but that leader must have a predecessor. We have failed to create the baseline of leadership in our community, the baseline of a community in our recent history, when you had the Ralph Abernathy's and the Dr. Kings and the Huey P. Newtons and the Fred Hamptons and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's and the Marcus Garvey's. The one mistake I personally believe they all made during that and during those periods is they never had a predecessor. They never had the person that was standing right next to them, to the right or to the left, or even behind them, saying, I'm next, he's next, he's next. Well, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad did, but due to certain human circumstances, that was torn to pieces because, again, the entities like J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI, and the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, and the United States of America's federal government said, hey, we have to bust that up. People, no one wants to die. Because, people, well, they died doing it. Nobody is sitting around saying, I'm up next on the die train. Murder me, sign up, not me up. But if you want, as my moniker on this program is, we're setting up life for our great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. If you believe in that, then we must put ourselves in position of leadership. We must understand what leadership is, and we must understand how to organize that so we can make the people who we are setting up, we're praying for, we are saving for, we are organizing for, so they will have a better life. Now, what's missing? Leadership. Why is it no leadership? There is no leadership in this community because we have too many tentacles going in different directions. The mission. What's the mission? That's what's missing. The leadership. In order to have leadership, you must have an ultimate goal. Like when you are an athlete, the simplest way, if you're an athlete or entertainer, if you're an actor, singer, dancer, all right, if you're an actor, I want to be on Broadway, I want to be in movies, I want to be on television. That's the goal. Then you get an acting coach, and that's the goal you work towards. If you're an athlete, I want to be in the pros. That's where you work to. If you want to be a dancer, I want to be in again on Broadway or in some type of musical or something of that nature. I want to be in music videos. Those are the things. I want to be on tour with some of the greatest stars in the world. Those are your goals, and you work towards those. What's the goal of our community? Liberation, independence. We're same thing. It was almost redundant. Liberation, a foundation, and a future. We want to be left the hell alone so we can commiserate amongst us as well as other people on the planet and build something that is ours so we can celebrate our history, engage in the present, and build towards our future. That's what we want to do. Those are the things that we're doing at this point. If we're not willing to do those, if you're not having that mindset, you are wrong. And I mean, that's just your opinion. No, if you don't have that mindset, you're wrong. If you're not trying to make people around you comfortable, and you're basically people around you in your immediate home, and then in your neighborhood and your community, and then in your culture, you are wrong. That's the goal of all of humanity. We are a series of tribes that are put together in different means, and we should be trying to work together to get that situation taken care of. We're not doing that. What we're doing is running around all willy-nilly. We're doing name calling, and then one of us rises above the other, and we point the finger and say, what I did. And then when you have conversations with people, they say, when they start off talking about the community as a whole. And then when you point out things that the group needs to do, well, I don't do that. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. If we're talking about the Black neighborhood, if we're talking about the Black community, we're talking about the Black township or Black industry, what you do is totally irrelevant unless it's benefiting everybody. Don't get into a conversation. Don't engage about the community if you're going to talk about what you do. Because what you do affects all of us. And if it's not about all of us, I don't care what you do. Because what you do is totally irrelevant. It's over 50 million of us in this country, and one person doing the right thing, unless he's hurting people into doing the right thing, is irrelevant. I'm sick and tired of listening to these conversations where people want to sit around and pontificate about what they do. What if your conversation should be we, not I? We need to murder the I's. and enhance the weeds, because the eye does nothing for us. Don't talk about the community and its and the total community, and then say what you don't do because you're one individual. One person can't help will shut the entire hell up. And that's just the bottom line. What's missing? That's what's missing. The we mentality. Because guess what? Dr. King and Malcolm X, the two of the most famous recent leaders, and the communal leaders and vocal leaders in the Black community, they spoke about we. And guess what? They had two different ideals. They had two different ways to look at things. When you got two different ways to look at things, if making HRap's life is better, and you say I'm gonna give them money, and you say I'm gonna help, y'all have the same plan. It's to make HRap's life better. So just because you want to give money and you want to get time, neither one of you are wrong if the goal is to make my life better. Now, oh man, Dr. King, I would have never got hit in the head. Well, damn it, don't get hit in the head. But he's not wrong for his methods. And Malcolm X would have killed you. How you know? You've never heard of one time where Malcolm X lifted his hand to injure anybody in the history of the world. And I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying you've never heard it. So you don't know what I would have been. You would have been talking just like you're doing now. Because if you would have been, you would be. And if you're not, then cayete, zip it. It's sickening to hear people talk about what's wrong with the community. What's wrong with the community is obvious. We have been under attack for 400 years. We have laws created to hurt us. We have cities destroyed, areas burned to the ground. You have drugs infested, opportunities taken away. That's what's wrong with the damn community. It's not the people. When you find someone who is reacting to the system that they've been placed in, it's not the person, it's the system that is messed up. Because people don't respect what they don't see. See, well, you could do this, but as soon as you say, but, I'm not listening to you anymore, because you're saying what you could be saying is, hey man, we need to do this so that this won't happen again. And let's just be honest, man. A lot of us are white supremacists and brown skin. Y'all love white nationalism because it's attached to money and what you've been told success is. What is true success? See, these are the things that are missing. We have no foundation as well. What is the foundation for success? You know what success is to me? For me and my loved ones to be comfortable. And guess what? Those are not biological loved ones. Those are not just the biological people. You know, you got a lot of people that say, hey, I support you. I listen. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because guess what? The people who listen to me on a regular basis, like some of the people in the chat room right now, they've never told me I listened. You know what they do? They type in the chat room and say, hey man, I'm checking you out. I'm background listening. That they are actually engaged. I go, I get notifications, and they're there. And it's a lot of the same people. It's a lot of people that I've never heard of. And it's a lot of people that have been consistently supporting me since the word go. So when you walk up to me and say, yo, rap, I'm down for you, man. What's up, Joe? I listened to your show the other day. And damn, I don't believe you. I'm not gonna lie to you, because the people who support, they end up bumping into me. Boy, that you know how you can tell when somebody listening to your program and paying attention to you. They tell you exactly what triggered them. Hey, Rap, when you was talking about this, man, that was good. And they keep on walking. They don't convince you or anything. Oh man, you had some good knowledge there. Get the hell out of my face with that, man. And I try not to use profanity, but that's just what it is, man. I don't want to hear that nonsense anymore, man. You was killing it, Rap. What I talk about, I literally caught someone in a lie. Hey, man, yo, Rap, I checked you out last week. What show did you watch? I don't even remember. What day was it? I don't even remember. Was it me or just me or multiple people? I don't remember. You don't know if you looked at something with more than two people. Just knock it off. So these are the things that I'm talking about. The foundation is group success, group economics, group prosperity. That's what the foundation is. Now, then you have to build up to something different. You have to build up to understanding that just because my main man Jungle Brother likes something, that don't mean Rap got to like it. But guess what? I'm gonna trap in the Jungle Brother all the time. Jungle Brother does political stuff. He does insanely funny stuff. He does sports stuff. Hey, guess what? Me and Jungle Brother never talked about what he was going to do next. But guess what? When I see that notification pop up, whether he live or later, I'm tapping in because that is to show I am supporting. See, oh man, we don't support it. Stop falling for the okie doke. Why? I say this probably 5 days a week or 4 to 5 days a week. Why do we listen to other people tell us what's up with us? We should consistently say, man, we need to do what? We need to start, you know what? We need to dream about owning a grocery store. We need to dream about owning a corner store. We need to dream about owning what is it? A drug store. Those are the things we need to dream about owning multiple gas stations. You need to dream about owning your own home. Those are the things you need to be dreaming about. We don't need another damn chicken shack. We don't need another damn restaurant. We don't need another damn hair salon. We don't need another damn pampering, nothing. We don't need that because you can't eat that stuff. You can't read that stuff. Open a multitude of academic excellence facilities. That's what we need to do. We need to establish a foundation of things that will only enhance us, not put us in another situation where, well, I need this. Hell, if you really, tell you what, open up a series of hair care, you know, what is the beauty supply joints. That if you really want to do it, since, oh man, we spent $100 trillion in hair care on, you know, we spent all this money on hair care. Well, you and your friends need to open up a chain of those, open up a chain of corner stores, open up a chain of grocery stores. Instead of just saying, these celebrities need to, why don't we get the ear of a Derrick Rose, of an Anthony Davis, of Antoine Walker, and all these dudes in Chicagoland area or in the United States, wherever you're from, and say, hey man, why don't y'all open up a grocery store? Y'all have money forever and we'll shop there. The south side of Chicago is identified as a food desert. A lot of those young men come from the south side of Chicago. Why ain't y'all opening up grocery stores? And then we can leave Pete's Finer Foods, we can leave Jewel Kroger, we can leave Mariano's, and we can leave Whole Foods all the way along. Because then I'm willing to go to the south side to go to the black grocery store. I'm willing to go to the west side to go to the black grocery store. At that point, we will have a financial base. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be enhancing. You know what? I'm not a dude who's saying we need to chase entertainment, but guess what? We love the world of music and things of that nature. Music is almost part of our molecular structure. Say that 3 times. So why don't we open up things like band camps, things that'll help marching bands and help you get a scholarship at HBCU? How about that? Well, why don't we open up auto repair schools so we can be sanctioned, so we can put our children through auto mechanics? Open up vocational hubs so we can learn to be electrician, heating and air conditioning, roofing, woodwork, and things of that nature. We can do that. We have enough people to do that. Remember, at one point, and WGN used to have a telethon for the United Negro College Fund. How about we start doing that again? You know, we don't need the Oprahs and the D's and the those and the this and the that's. We don't need them. It's enough of us to do it, and we have the qualifications to do it. So if they remove the Department of Education, okay, everybody in the black community send this place, look, $25. If we send it $25, we can fly young people into these hubs, train them on technology, train them on vocation, train them, and then black men and women are already going to college now, back out in the world, and we building houses and we are recreating our community. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. And if you continue to have that thing missing, and then it will continue to be the problem. We are chasing a dog. Why are we trying to fit up? We are pieces of a puzzle. But if we are pieces of a puzzle of a family, why we got a piece from a picture? Why are we trying to fit our family picture into a piece from the beach or a piece of a mountain or a piece of the desert? It won't fit. And that's what we're trying to fit into. We're trying to fit into corporate America, white America. They keep firing us. And you know what? If we hold on to our money, become minimalist. And what is a minimalist? A person who shops and takes care of everything they need and not what they want. And then once we establish these hubs throughout the United States of America and become minimalist and start watching Mansa more than we watch Netflix, and more than we watch Prime, more than we watch BT Plus, more than we watch HBO Max. If we start watching Mansa and blow Mansa up to the size of a YouTube or the size of a Prime or the size of a Netflix, and then just say, okay, we don't need y'all no more. Watch how many people come running at you. Hey, whoa, I got something for you. No, I'm good. We're good. We're okay. We don't need that. See, what happens if you just make your mind up and you want to move to the Caribbean? You want to move to the continent. You want to move hell to Canada or Mexico. Oh, but see, they don't like us. How the hell do you know? You ain't been out the 606. You ain't been out your state, but you know about a whole world of people that don't like you. Who told you they don't like you? People that don't like you. They told you that, because if you ever link up with those people and y'all can figure out y'all got more in common than disassociated, as I stated to a group of my friends this week. Oh man, the Mexican people don't like us. Really? Okay, let me show you. Do you know what maize is? Maize is corn. Maize is corn. Maize is indigenous to North America, but you can find maize on the continent. Guess what? All the way in West Africa and Egypt and Timbuktu and Ethiopia, you find pyramids with people with maize. And you go all the way back into the Yucatan jungle, you see 10-foot heads of people that look like us. That means those people and our people became friends at some point. And if those people and our people became friends at some point, who the hell said they wouldn't? Oh, y'all watch movies all the time. You remember the Alamo? Yeah, they will never forget the Alamo and all that. Guess why that Alamo was truly fought? Because the Mexican people said, we ain't enslaving these people anymore. Oh no, we can't have that. And it was a fight and they got their behinds whipped. But they don't like us. Stop it. Knock it off. So if you get turned down by a woman, do all women not like you, or does that woman not like you? Bingo. Look, every black person don't like your black ass. So why would every other community like you? So stop it. They fall victim of the propaganda that we're lazy, we don't want to do anything, and you fall victim of the propaganda that you don't like them. How about we have some conversations? That's what's missing as well. You know what else is missing? How to pick a leader. We're in the midst of a war, so how do you pick a leader? See, identify who you are first. Me, I don't invest in a lot of spelling unless, when I used to let me be honest with you guys. I'm going to open the door and let y'all know who Brian Williams is. So hopefully you'll get to know who HRap, why I became HRap. My mother was tough as nails, right? Guess what? Do you know the only person that could ask me how to spell something and I automatically knew how to spell it? My mother. If my mother say, Brian, how you spell onomatopoeia? I would spell it out. Anti-disestablishment, I would spell it out without even thinking. But if you ask me how to spell anything longer than Brian, I don't know, because it was nothing that was engaging me to want to do it. But the threat of her thinking, one, I wasn't as smart as I was. Hey, I can't have her thinking I'm stupid. Because if she think I'm stupid, she never would have thought I was stupid. But if I thought that my mother thought that I was less than and not trying, it disappointed me and broke my heart. So, Brian, what's 100,000 times this? 828,000. And she would never go, how did you know that? For example, I remember I wasn't getting D's and C's. I was getting Q's and Z's on my grades. And she yelled at me. And the number one thing she continued to yell at me about was, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. So I immediately turned my grades around because I couldn't allow her to believe I was stupid. How does that tie into this? I knew who I was. I just wasn't applying myself. We know who we are. We're not applying ourselves. And I'm not going to say any names. I got one of my favorite relatives in the world. Me and her talk all the time. And she used to doubt herself. And then now she don't do that no more because everything, and I'm not some prophet. I was just watching. Because guess what? She didn't even realize when we used to live at 1209, she used to have a pen pal, and she got sick of reading me this at about age 4 or 5. Let me read that to me again. Read that to me again. You know what she did? She taught me how to read. And guess what? Look at me now. Dumb. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. But she didn't even realize that about herself because she wasn't taking the time out because she was listening to the outside world and not seeing how dope she was. I tell her this all the time. She knows she is. And guess what? She listens. And I know she is. And I'm saying this for a purpose. She is a microcosm of our community. we don't realize just how awesome we are. Do you understand, Jungle Brother, when you make us laugh like that, you take us away from stress with our significant others, stress with our children, stress from life, hating these jobs, garbage TV shows, because Jungle Brother on here calling himself Judge Jungle, and he cutting up and acting a fool, and we all laughing and we picking at him, we throwing apples and metaphor, tomatoes and stuff at him, and he's entertaining the entire out of us, and he also is thought provoking. That's how dope Jungle Brother is. Have I ever laid eyes on Jungle Brothers? Nope. But have me and Jungle Brother set up while I was at work, I work overnight, and he didn't talk to me 8, 9, 10 hours. Yep. I mean, not 8, 9, 10 hours, but 4, 5 hours. Yes, he has. Poetic Sins playing some of the dope. Have I ever met Poetic Sins? Nope. But Poe plays some of the dopest music. She relaxes your mind. See, we don't realize that we are actually the medicine to our illnesses in this community. My homegirl, Denise Milk and Cookie, she's down there in Alabama. She teaching these children. She teaching her children. She's a positive influence in the world every day. And she's never, I know it, because me and Denise have talked. I know Denise ain't just seeing how she affecting the world, because her ego ain't built to make the world say, look at me, I'm Denise. But she's doing that because guess what? I ain't never heard Denise say, Denise got about 4 or 5 kids. I ain't never heard her say nothing about her kids. But you know what I hear her say? I take care of my old man. I take care of my children. And you ain't finna be. I hear her guide her family every day. Denise is affecting the world. Poe is affecting the world. My relative is affecting the world. Jungle Brother is affecting the world. Mo is affecting the world. Anybody who pours into me, when I ain't acting right on this show, what y'all don't know is I get a text message from somebody saying, oh, fold your damn arms. Look like you want to do something. Let me misspell something. I got somebody cussing me out. But guess what? That's because they want the best of me. They think they're getting on my nerves, and they are, but I don't care, because guess what? You getting on me lets me know you care about me. So I ain't really tripping. You know what I mean? But how do you pick leadership is the point. Now, see, we're lifting each other and don't even know it. Now we're going to go for leadership. Everybody ain't, I'm a boss. No, you're not. Let's start there. Everybody ain't the damn boss. Now, let's start at the top and work our way down. A general, I'm the boss. I tell people, do you know what the word general probably is? This is just me. This is Rap 101, the book of rap. You know what I mean? I ain't got no Bible. It's the book of rap. This chapter 1. This is Genesis on the book of rap. The book of rap says this: a general runs everything. But what is a general? It is exactly, in my opinion, what it says. A general. I ain't great at nothing. And generally, I know a little bit about football, I know a little bit about basketball, a little bit about politics. I know how to prepare a meal, I know how to cook, I know I love my family, I love my loved ones. And in general, I can take care of everything. But I'm a colonel. A colonel is just about to be a general, but he may be emotionally unstable, may be waiting on his turn. It's a myriad of things that make a colonel, a major. I major in this. Let me get this running. This is what I major, because next I'm going to be a colonel and a general. I'm getting ready. I'm majoring in this. And then you have a captain. And a captain is that I run things. I'm in order. People be a general. I'll be a general. I'm a chief for sure. But guess what? I can be emotionally unbalanced at times. Meaning sometimes that anger get to me, and me being a general will be a boom. That's what's gonna happen. Because if you push me and it ain't my day, you're gonna feel it. And that's why I'm a captain. I could be a major, I could be a colonel, and I could be a general. But as of this moment, I'm a captain. And I'm good being a captain. Some of us are sergeants. That means it's almost like at work, you're a supervisor. I ain't the manager. I just, hey, come on, let's get this done. You help things get done. Some of us are, what was it, corporals and privates and enlisted men. Guess what? Our children are the enlisted men because they are looking, they could potentially be leaders. They potentially could be leaders, but we don't know yet because they just here. They're learning. They're sucking it in. They're enhancing themselves. That's what they are. Hey, guess what? You're private or whatever, whichever the next one up over corporal. Yeah, corporal, private, and then you got the sergeants. Guess what? Be glad that you're a sergeant. You are working, man. You are a supervisor. You getting it cracking. And that might be your max out. Hey, and then you move up, to lieutenant. And a lieutenant is a person who aspires to be a colonel, a general one day. He ain't trying to be a captain. I mean, a lieutenant. He ain't trying to be a captain. He ain't trying to be a major. He ain't trying to be a colonel. He's trying to be a general. But how many people have you taken the time to say, hey, man, ooh, I see it in you. I see it, and we're going to develop you. Why am I talking about this form of leadership today? Because the dude who running the country is a buffoon. He's a doofus. And the country has failed to prepare the next leader. Who gonna be the next mayor of your city? You don't know. Who gonna be the next city councilman? You don't know. If we're not preparing people to be the next, we get what we get. Black folks, how does that tie into us? Who's the next Dr. King? When Dr. King, hey, it should have been a Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm being facetious saying that, but it should have been a Martin Luther King IV. Metaphorically, it should be a Jesse Jackson. It should be somebody like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay, let's start at the beginning. As far as I know, it was Marcus Garvey. Then it was Noble Drew Ali, and it was Elijah Poole, aka Elijah Muhammad. And it was also a guy by the name of Earl Little, which is Malcolm X's daddy. Right. Earl Little went to Nebraska. Elijah Poole, aka Elijah Muhammad, he came here to Chicago. Marcus Garvey was kicked out of the country. Noble Drew Ali also came to Chicago, and they didn't have people to succeed them. Therefore, when the ish hit the fan and the man came down, it was who's the dude who's gonna take up for after Huey P. Newton died? Nobody. Oh, it could have been Fred Hampton. It should have been somebody up under Fred. It should have been somebody up under Mark Clark. That's what we need to be building towards. See, like I said, I think I said this. No, I said this in interpersonal conversation Saturday. I said we are not setting our community up to win into perpetuity. If we are going to make the world better for our great-grandchildren's grandchildren, guess what? At some point, I knew I was going to be the general of my family, because it's not in my mother's family, it's not a lot of men. It's my Uncle Rich. It's me. And then you got Terry and Dre, and you got Chris and Cal. That's it. Then you got my nephews and my son. That's the hierarchy. Now, let's just say hypothetically, my Uncle Richard didn't want to be the general. I got to step up. He might be happy. Hey, man, I'm a prince of my land. I'm a king of my land. I don't want to be the king of the family. So that means I step up. My cousin Vince, my cousin Mike, they are kings in the Williams clan. Vince is younger than me. Mike is older than me. Vince was terminated. Vince was murdered. So guess what? Mike is the king of the Williams clan. Because guess what? I'm not older than Mike. And guess what? I don't mind not being the king of the Williams clan. Mike could be that. Because guess what? If my Uncle Stanley was still alive, my Uncle Otis was still alive, my dad was still alive, or my cousin Roy, if he was still in Chicago, or whatever the case, they don't want to be my brother. He don't want to be the chief. They don't want to be the chief. They don't want the responsibilities. Therefore, as of now, until my son matriculates to the top, I'm the king of the Williams clan too. But are we setting our families up? Hey, you're the guy. Like with me, I take my aunts to the store. I fix things. When my daughter car breaks down, she calls me. She has friends and a boy. Hey, my dad will do it. And I'm not saying you have to have cape on, but we have to create these hierarchies. So if something happens, that's why our families are so fractured. My grandmother passed away, and then everybody ain't the same since she gone. No, that means you need to step up, Dolores, and then that's who used to be that glue. She's gone. I'm gonna have to be that glue. That's why That's why I got 6 nieces and nephews, and they hear from me every day. With 5 of them, I don't ever talk to Phil, but Phil, no, he my guy. I talk to 5 of them every day, but Phil, no. Like I said, my nephew Phil, he know I got mad love for him. He give me love every time he see me. He hit me every chance he get. But they hear from me 365 days a year. My children hear from me 365 days a year. The people who love me know if I need something, they gonna call me and it's gonna get done. Is your family set up like that? Are you willing to be a colonel when it's still a general here until the general proves himself to be incompetent? That's the question you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself that question. You really do. See, because leadership is also following. I mean, I can do this. No, you can't. Because if you talk to my cousin Beatrice Vaughn, I like talking to him. That's why he's been on the show twice. I got to start calling my cousin. Who he called? We just connected, and he called me today. I was dealing with something with my daughter, and I told him I was gonna call him back, and he's probably asleep by the time I got my cousin Carla. We talk. People reach out to me. Hey, they just want to tap in. I'm cool. See, leadership ain't about bossing people around. Leadership is about being the glue. Who's the glue in our community? I mean, Al Sharpton ain't doing nothing. Well, why don't you? Jesse Jackson didn't do enough. What did you do? See, I used to be one of those buffoons that said that. I used to be. But guess what? Jesse Jackson has saved more lives than HRap. Jesse Jackson saved way more lives than HRap. HRap working on it. But guess what? If I was in the room with Jesse Jackson, I'm standing down. You the chief, you got an elder, and we're willing to do that. And guess what else? You don't make it hard on young people. I mean, see, these young people, first of all, we're going to eradicate that N-word. We're getting rid of that N-word, brothers and sisters. We have to. It's an insult. Hey, would you want somebody to walk up to you and say, what's your funk ass doing? No, you wouldn't accept that because it ain't cool. So we're going to get rid of that N-word. You know why? Is it easy? Like, shut up, N-word. Or, hey, brother, you wouldn't even say, hey, brother, why don't you keep it down? See, you see the difference in the respect? Man, that N-word make me sick. Hey, man, you tripping. Hey, brother, you tripping. Hey, sister, you tripping. This B, sisters, we're going to start referring to ourselves as that B word. We're gonna knock that off. Y'all ain't B's. And I'm not going to do that stupid ass. And you queens, if everybody damn queen, who the damn subject, y'all? Knock it off. We're going to stop calling each other these insulting words because it's easy to dismiss a YN, not a young brother, a young sister. Because if that was your young cousin, your young brother, your young biological sister, your young biological brother, you won't let nobody talk to them like that. See, this heel that we try to make our young people see. When I was a kid, they were shooting at people. Well, that's why you made it through, damn fool. You made it through so they won't have to get shot at. Just like the rapper Jay-Z. Hov did that. So you won't have to go through that. So what you do is do what I used to do with my children. I sit down and talk to my children. And I used to literally say, I know y'all saying in y'all head, shut up, go on about your business, man. Finish watching that football game. I say, but it's going to come a day that you're going to say, your parents didn't teach you that. And both my kids have done that. Both my children have done that. Let's even try to do that. Let's stop calling our children kids. A kid is a goat, an animal. We have children. We have young people. And then start talking to your children about your flaws, which I have. I just tell my son, BJ, I hated school. I had to call my mother to prove to him because all he saw me was reading the newspaper, reading books, watching documentaries, telling him about stuff that he didn't know. And this dude's smart. No, I just took time out to learn some stuff. But I told him that I was horrible at school for a long time. And then he heard it from my mother and believed me. So let's start talking to our children about our flaws. I ain't talking about every flaw and embarrassing yourself, but it's certain things about you that permeate in your children that you can see before it even comes to fruition that you can warn them about. I saw my son was going to be an outside kind of guy. Because you know why? Because his grandfather was an outside kind of guy and his father was an outside kind of guy. His grandfather's name is Rooster because as soon as the sun came up, he was outside. And his father, had several heat rashes because he was too dumb to go in the house. And they had to put talcum powder on my back. That aforementioned relative had to put talcum powder and stuff on my back and calamine lotion because I was too dumb to come in the house out the 100-degree sun. So I knew my son was going to be an outside kind of guy. So I said, B, let me tell you something. If you don't have a destination, why don't you just sit down? Stay in the crib, man. You have a whole lot less problems. Guess how it paid off? My daughter asked me about some of my homies that have boats and asked me could they rent their boats. I was unable to secure that boat. Guess what? One of her friends, somebody she know, passed away because they fell off that very boat. It's yes, 2 days ago. And I'm not saying I saved my child, but if you ain't got the way to go, sit your down. But I need us to start talking to our children. You don't have to make things hard on your children to make things work for your children. All you have to do is talk to them. That's leadership. You're building leaders. When you expose your flaws to your children, they're gonna respect you and they're gonna see you in a better situation because they're gonna see that mountain that you had to climb and you cleared the path for them. And then they're gonna see how tough it was. And then they'll work harder and then they'll talk to their children, just like my mother did for me, just like my grandmother, both my grandmothers did for me, just like my grandfather did for me. Hey man, they talk to me. And that's what we have to do. I'm gonna show y'all the video. You know what, man? Go to www.theendofthebitch.com because it ain't enough time to show the video today. And you know what? I am gonna show it. I am gonna show it. Forget it. I want you guys to see this video because today was a crazy day for me, and I need y'all to understand. Look, it's a war going on outside in the traditional world, but it's a war going on outside in our world, and people are attacking us. So what I want us to do is realize that we're being under attack. People are trying to destroy us. People are doing everything they can to hurt us. And we must do everything we can to maintain that status. Watch this video and I'll be back shortly.
The 761 Tank Battalion was one of 3 of the United States Army segregated tank battalions to serve during World War II. They were nicknamed the Black Panthers, and the battalion spent over 183 consecutive days in combat. This is One My Black History, and I'm your host, Country Boy. And if this is the type of content that you enjoy, you can find more content like this at onemikehistory.com. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so in my Patreon page or my Buy Me Coffee in the description below. Also, subscribe, support the YouTube channel, and give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. But without further ado, let's get started. With the world on the brink of war, the United States started mobilizing for World War II. Military officials began to debate whether or not African-American soldiers should be used in armored units. Many in the military and politicians believed that Blacks did not have the brains, quickness, or moral stamina to fight. Colonel James A. Moss, commander of the 350th Infantry Regiment, spoke about his World War I experiences, stating, as fighting troops, the Negro must be rated as second-class material, and this is primarily due to his inferior intelligence and lack of mental and moral qualifications. And Secretary of War Henry L. Stinson was resigned to the fact that Blacks would serve in the military, but had very strong reservations about their capabilities in specific areas like the armored force. The military firmly embraced these beliefs leading up to World War II, even though African Americans had fought with courage and distinction in every major war since the Revolutionary War, and completely overlooked the fact that during World War I, 4 Black regiments had served with the French, and their efforts were recognized by the French government, and 3 of the 4 regiments were awarded the coveted Croix de Guerre by the French military.
Now, as you see, man, do you see what I'm saying? No matter what we do, we won't be recognized. Therefore, thank you, Alfred. Therefore, you must do everything you can to solidify your situations. Identify your privates, corporals, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, majors, colonels, and so forth and so on, and continue to build upon that. And gender has nothing to do with that, because Queen Nzinga would kick 99% of the men behind in this world today. Look her up, one of the greatest sisters in the history of the world. Our sister and ancestor Harriet Tubman led a regiment in the revolution and the Civil War. And if we continue to look into these things, the Civil War is getting it cracking. And look, if you want to watch that in its entirety, you heard Country Boy on One Mike History, or you can do me a favor and do both of us a favor and go www.theendofthebitch.com and you'll be able to watch that in its entirety. You'll be doing both of us a favor. Now, as I was saying, man, we're not going to play into these gender wars. because Ma Rainey, one of the greatest musicians in the history of the world, owns everything. They had to submit to her. You don't believe me? Go watch the movie made by Denzel Washington. Last thing Chadwick Boseman was in, Ma Rainey Black Bottom. You'll see. If you don't understand that, you had queen pins of criminality, and Sister St. Clair started off in New York, ended up in Chicago, was a numbers runner, had one of the biggest banks in Harlem that Harlem ever seen, taken over by Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson. The women in our community have always been hitters. And if you don't understand the terminology, hitter have always been for real deal McCoys. They wasn't to be played with. Like my man Dave Chappelle said, they was Wu-Tang, nothing to mess with. But we have gotten into this thing where these women and no, do not look at the worst of our people and paint with a broad brush and say that's all of our people. That's your hard ass luck, not ours. With that being said, I need us to continue to do what we have to do to maintain the greatness that's in our community. How do we pick leadership? By watching people, by pouring into everyone equally. And guess what? Hey, when you get to the top of a child, hey man, this child might only be a colonel in warfare, but he might be a genius in mathematics. So yeah, I mean, he might be a private in warfare, but a genius in strategy or mathematics. It just pour everything into them, and when their cup is full, they'll step away. You teach people how to be electricians. You teach people how to change the dimmers on things. But some of these kids are just gonna catch on. You teach them how to be musicians, and some of them will catch on. You teach everybody everything, and when they reach their limit, they'll enough. I'm going over here where I'm good at, but at least you will have it, and you explain to them why you need to have it. See, stop getting in bed with foolish madness and tomfoolery. You need to be able to know, you need to be able to maximize your abilities. And if you don't know what your abilities are, continue to teach and pour into. That's how you pick leaders. Because I would be a horrible carpenter. But you know what? I'm a great orator. I'm a galvanizer. I'm not an organizer. I'm a galvanizer. I can bring people together. I can immobilize, and somebody else gonna organize, and then I can tell you what you need to do. I can see things at A and visualize to Z before you get to M. That's my gift, but that might not be your gift. That may not be your gift. Some people's gift is grammatical tendencies. And hey, that's a mistake. That's a misspell. They would point that out. Some people write very well. Some people have an innate ability to fix things, whether it be the human body or machinery. Everybody can do something. God didn't make any blanks. So how do you pick a leader? Allow people to be good at what they're good at, not what you want them to be good at. That's the problem. Everybody sees what they want you to be. And then there's somebody watching. I know it is. That's just the way people are. But see, what if I see something and you don't? Well, then you expose me to it. If I take to it like a fish to water, then you're correct. But if I don't, then don't try to force it upon me, because it may not be my time. But with that being said, we need to pick the prop. We need to have leadership set up for the next 100 years. We need to be looking for the next mayor. If Brandon Johnson isn't going to be the mayor of Chicago, we need to find us another brother that's going to be the mayor. And then you know what? We need to say, and he's going to be the city manager, and this sister going to be this, and that brother going to be that, and this, and we need to continue to do that. We need to be setting up. Guess what, y'all? It's more of us in this city than anybody, so we should run it. We should run it. This is the most powerful city in this state of Illinois, so we should run it. And we should be willing to move to East St. Louis for a whole lot of underdeveloped land, purchase that land and redevelop it and make it the blackest city in the state. And we can run it too, because it's 98% us there. See, our vision is too limited. Our vision is too limited, and we are not expounding and imagining anything. We're just trying to go along to get along. The illusion of inclusion is what it's called. So while you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, understand that you are a octagon and you need to fit into an octagon and not a circle. It's circle-like, but it's not a circle. So keep that in mind. I'll see you tomorrow. This is Brian HRap B. Williams, 2 fingers, 1 word.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why